Breaking: Jonathan breaks silence on suspension of Fubara, other elected officials in Rivers. You are tuned to CNOC Media. If this is your first time, please subscribe to our page, like, comment on our videos, and share. Also put on your notification button to get our updates. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has spoken out against the recent suspension of Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and other elected officials in the state, calling the decision harmful to Nigeria's image. Speaking on the situation in Rivers State, Jonathan said, "These actions by key actors in the executive and legislative arms of government paint the country in a negative light." He made the remark while speaking at the Ask Satumari Foundation colloquium in Abuja on Saturday. His reaction follows President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. Tinubu suspended Governor Fubara, his deputy Ngozi Odu, and all members of the State House of Assembly for 6 months. The president said the move was necessary to restore stability amid political tensions between the governor and lawmakers. On Tuesday, Tinubu also appointed retired Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ekwe-Ibas as the state's sole administrator. The Senate and House of Representatives approved the emergency rule on Thursday. Jonathan, however, warned that such actions could affect the country's ability to attract investment. He explained that former presidents usually avoid commenting on political matters to prevent further tension, but he felt compelled to speak due to calls from Nigerians, especially as a leader from the Niger Delta. Jonathan also criticized interference in the judiciary, saying it undermines public trust. He said, as a former president and also from the Niger Delta, when the issue of suspending the governor of Rivers State came up, I think people called on me, President Jonathan, and ex-President Obasanjo to say something. People expected us to say something about what is happening. Of course, people don't even know that traditionally all over the world, former presidents hardly make statements about what the current presidents are doing because of the tension it would create in the country. In most cases, look at America, look at everywhere. So for former presidents to make statements, and of course what is happening in Nigeria today regarding the situation in Rivers State, is like an Indian proverb that says that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if that person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from the executive to the legislature, judiciary and the Senate, and others are here. And the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do, but they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep and waking. They are pretending to sleep, and waking such a person is extremely difficult because the person knows the right thing. A clear abuse of office and clear abuse of power cutting across from the three arms of government, from the executive to the parliament and the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. Why is it that our passport is not valued that much? Why is it that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we are supposed to receive at international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys or 419. Not only them. Yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in the country, decisions that are taken by the executive arm of government, decisions that are taken by the parliament and judicial decisions affect everybody. For example, no businessman can bring his money to invest in a country where the judiciary is compromised, where government functionaries can dictate to judges what judgment they will give. No man brings his money to invest in that economy because we are taking a big risk. So whatever we do affects everybody. And if we want to build a nation where children and grandchildren will live, no matter how painful it is, we must strive to do what is right. It may cost us, but we must end in the end and pay the price to insist on doing what is right. Whether you are holding an executive office as a president, a minister, or a governor, or a civil servant, an executive, whether you are holding an office in the parliament, senate, or house of representatives, whether you are a judicial officer at the high courts or appellate courts, we must strive to do what is right if we want to build a nation that our children will be proud of. As we engage in these discussions, let us remember that promoting social change is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It requires our sustained commitment, collective action, and unwavering dedication to the values that promote good governance. Let us also recognize that social change is a shared responsibility, one that requires the active participation and engagement of all stakeholders, including civil society, the private sector, and government. Well, that's a very long one from our former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the man who, at the brink of, a collapse of the country, when, the mood was heightened, he said his election is not worth the blood of any Nigerian, and he ceded, victory to former President Muhammadu Buhari, which brought peace to the country. So for such persons to make their opinions, like he said, former presidents rarely speak on the activities of the current holder of that office, so as not to throw, throw up more problems for the country. So for him to have spoken at this stage, it calls for retrospection. I think it is good. All those he called out in the executive, the legislative, and judiciary should be mindful, of their activities, both in the past and going forward. That way, Nigeria can remain the country it is designed to be, a great country. We cannot overlook or ignore his warnings, because he is somebody who has governed the nation for many years. And as such, his opinions should count. So let all the players, the actors and non-actors, be guided for Nigeria to continue to exist as one nation. What is your take on this?